unless you feel confident in your draft this year, you probably have to, again, push off negotiations until after April and wait till the draft. You probably tag him again to do negotiations, but I could definitely see a sign and trade scenario. But if I'm him, I still want to stay in Cincinnati if they're going to pay me. And then for the Bengals, I feel like this is someone that you need to resign. You're not just going to go out there and find another Trey Hendrickson. So for me, he should definitely stay and play with Joe Burrow, and the Bengals should definitely want him. Stop being
Yeah.
cheap.
Now you can afford him. Like, you might as well sign him. So I agree. I think he should stay in Cincinnati. And then, similar to Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans is available. Does he stay in Tampa, finish his career there? Or do we see him go to a place like maybe the Chargers are interested in him? Maybe they want to pair him. They want to move on from Mike Evans. Or Keenan Allen, bring in Mike Evans. Patriots are in the mix. Lions maybe want to add another piece. But I hope he just stays in Tampa. He's been with them for so long. Just keep him around. Maybe take a pay cut, but I don't know. Where do you see? Does Mike Evans? Is there any place that sticks out to you outside of maybe Tennessee?
Yeah, outside of Tennessee, I could see New England, kind of just that New England to Tampa Bay pipeline, because the Patriots are really an offensive line and 2 or 3 wide receivers away. And typically, how the Patriots do it is they bring in older veteran wide receivers, similar to the Tennessee Titans, and that's what they did in Brady's era, where kind of catch guys in the last 2 or 3 years, kind of looking for another ring. But I do think he's someone who wants to play with a great quarterback, but it would just depend on if he wants the bag or not. And the Patriots can afford to give him the best of both worlds, where Drake May statistically is the best deep ball thrower in the league last year. And then also they have enough money to really go out there and give you a bag. And then Stephon Diggs might be going to jail. So if you can target someone like Mike Evans, Alec Pierce, and AJ Brown to really fix your wide receiver room and potentially try and draft someone, I think that would be a good option for him. And then, every free agent we have to throw on the Rams, because the Rams are always looking. So if they strike out on Tyreek Hill, I could see them taking a shot for Mike Evans.
Yeah, I do think Mike Evans makes a lot of sense in New England with like the Randy Moss experiences, the Chad Ochocinco's of the world. It makes sense there. So I agree with the Patriots there. Trevon Diggs, he's the guy that got cut by Dallas. He played a little bit with Green Bay this past year, but Trevon Diggs at one point was in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation just about 2 or 3 years ago. Right now, his market value is like $7 million, not the highest market for Trevon Diggs. If I'm a
Yeah,
guy, maybe
here's
we
a guy.
don't have a lot of money and we want to make a big move. The 49ers, maybe. They had a lot of defensive injuries. Maybe they make a mix. Cardinals want to build up their defense. Maybe they sign some players. Living in Arizona wouldn't be too bad for Trevon Diggs. He's cheap. I can see someone like the Cardinals going after Trevon Diggs.
Yeah, no. Definitely not the Pointers. If I'm the Pointers and I hear Trayvon Diggs is interested in signing, like, I just had my entire defense get injured last year, and you want me to go out there and sign someone with injury issues? Definitely not Trayvon Diggs. But the Cardinals, that prediction speaks to me. I can definitely see him in a Cardinals uniform. So I definitely think that would be a really good fit for him. Maybe Miami if you're looking for a cheaper option. And then the Broncos are a team I feel like would throw out there if they're just looking for a little bit more at the corner position. Maybe Buffalo if they want to cut one of their more expensive corners and then get someone a little bit cheaper. I could see Buffalo in the mix there.
Yeah, I also feel like the Ravens have been acquiring old defensive talent of late. They had the Jair Alexander experience as well, so maybe they pick up Trayvon Diggs, get another aging corner. That seems to be what they've done of late, so not impossible there.
Deron
We
Bland
also
putting
have
corners out of a job.
we got Bradley Chubb, which we talked about a little bit, and then some other guys to shout out. Christian Kirk and Deebo Samuel are also free agents.
Yeah, I think Christian Kirk's going to make a lot of money, especially what he did in that game versus Pittsburgh. I think that was sensational. He had 8 catches, 41 yards, famously nicknamed Charlie Kirk by Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. So I do think Christian Kirk is going to be someone that a team will go out there and pay a bag. So if Tennessee isn't getting a ton of luck, I could definitely see him becoming a Titan, where he's probably a number 2. He's also someone that could probably end up in New England as well, though, where they just need wide receivers. They signed Mac Hollins last year, so I definitely think he'd be an upgrade. Like, Mac Hollins was the 4th, 5th option on Buffalo, where New England and Pittsburgh both saw what Christian Kirk could do in the playoffs. Christian Kirk got the touchdown, I believe, against them in the playoff game, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he would be a great fit on New England.
Yeah, another team I think could be a good fit. They have good tight ends, but they don't really have good receivers, and they're about to draft a rookie quarterback. The Raiders could come knocking for Christian
Yeah, that's
Kirk.
a good option. Yeah, I like that a lot.
They have Trey Tucker there, who's like a solid receiver. Christian Kirk, he's one of those guys that just makes your receiver core better. He's not going to be your one. He might not even be your two, but he's going to make your receiver core consistent. He's kind of like what Jacoby Myers was for them. Same type of build, I feel like. So if you can get Christian Kirk with the Raiders, pair him with a rookie quarterback, I feel like that would be a successful fit for both of them.
And that's a great option, especially because you're looking at Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer being your explosive duo, unlocking Ashton Genty, because he's someone I feel like you can definitely use as a receiver out of the backfield. So you don't necessarily need to go out there and pay top dollar. So I like the Christian Kirk fit a lot just because of that, where you just need
I
a couple
agree.
solid guys.
Yeah. And then we have like aging stars like Khalil Mack. We got Deebo Samuel, Travis Kelsey, and then some offensive line talent, Hassan Riddick. These are just a couple of guys to name. Joey Bosa is available. Just a couple of aging stars available for the world to claim.
Yeah, Joey Bosa did well for Buffalo. So if I'm Buffalo and it's still a team friendly deal, I would bring back Joey Bosa. For me, Travis Kelsey should retire. Khalil Mack should stay with the Chargers. And then what was the other one? Deebo Samuel. I could see, I mean, Deebo Samuel, him, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans on the Titans. They're collecting the Infinity Stones for receivers about to retire. The Titans are the franchise that collects aging receivers. So what if we see a trio of Deebo Samuel, Mike Evans, and Tyreek Hill, and then you get AJ Brown to come back, and then all of them retire the next year?
See, Debo, like we talked about Tyreek, maybe he's not ready for Tennessee. Deebo Samuel is he's ready to go to Tennessee. And he's from
Yeah,
South Carolina, so he's not that far from Tennessee with where he is. That makes perfect sense there. I definitely see him in Tennessee. Maybe he stays with the Commanders if he so chooses. Commanders are still a hungry team, but those seem to be the most interesting.
I could really see him
Aaron
in a
Rodgers,
Steelers uniform.
God, I'd hate that.
Deebo on the Steelers. I mean, that just makes sense, right?
Him and DK, they're like the same player. They have the same problem, basically. They just disappear, and they're both getting older.
Deebo was clutch in the playoffs, though, to be fair.
Yeah. We also have David Njoku. He's been with the Browns now for about 8 years. Solid tight end. I feel like he's always hurt. So I would just avoid San Francisco if I'm David Njoku.
Yeah, I could see the Falcons moving on from Kyle Pitts and bring in David Njoku because you have that connection already with Kevin Stefanski if he still wants to play for him. The Falcons are rumored to potentially be moving on from Kyle Pitts. He's someone who's also on the Patriots radar, so I could definitely see David Njoku going to Atlanta, getting out of Cleveland for sure, though.
We got some great tight ends. We have Travis Kelsey, David Njoku, Dallas Goddard, and Taysom Hill all available this offseason. And Tyler Higbee. And Kyle Pitts. Some guy is going to be very happy to have Kyle Pitts,
Yeah.
but it won't
Do
be
you,
me.
the Pro Football Focus had Kyle Pitts going to New England. Do you see that as a fit, or do you think New England's smarter than that?
Patriots don't want Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts has been a bust. He doesn't make sense. He doesn't fit the culture at all. David Njoku makes a lot of sense for the Patriots. Like I can see that 100%. Dallas Goddard, he is born to be a Patriot. He makes perfect sense there. He already was in Philly. You're basically already in New England. But Kyle Pitts, he's too small for the tight end position there. Like Kyle Pitts would be a guy like maybe George Kittle retires. He makes sense in San Francisco, to be honest. I just feel like California, that maybe like that side of the country would fit Kyle Pitts a little bit more. Denver, if they want to move on from Evan Ingram, they take on Kyle
Honestly, the
Pitts.
Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars.
I could see
I
the
could see it.
Jaguars being a team. They collected Christian Kirk from the Cardinals, and they've just kind of they had Evan Ingram for a stretch as well. They kind of collect these guys who have had potential but never really fully came into their own. So honestly, I could see him as a Jaguar.
I could see that. And who's their tight end now? They have, we'll have Evan Ingram now, but you pair him with Evan Ingram. That's
Cole
gonna excite some
Strange as
fantasy guy.
well was good for them last year.
Yeah. Yeah, Brenton Strange is still there. So it could be interesting. I don't hate him on the Jaguars. I think with Jacoby Myers, you have Kyle Pitts there. Maybe you sign Christian Kirk again, bring him back. Then suddenly the Jaguars' offense doesn't look too bad. You have ETN, BTJ, and Jacoby Myers, Christian Kirk. I like that pairing. But that's kind of it. Free agency. There's a lot of older guys that we might not see sign somewhere, like the Bobby Wagners of the world, who's still playing. Levante David, will he be returned? Will somebody pick him up? Tyler Higbee, we might see him, the last of him, playing in the NFL. So there's some guys that we're talking about that we might just not see back in the NFL. Alex Anzalone, another free agent that could be gone.
Yeah, I would hope Detroit picks him up, but I could definitely see another team trying to pay him a lot of money, especially Robert Sala as a defensive guy. The Patriots have Robert Spillane, so probably wouldn't go to him. The Rams, potentially. I could see picking him up, but Anzalone, I would hope, would be a Lion for life.
I hope so too. He's been a legend for him. Do you see Aaron Rodgers going anywhere other than Pittsburgh?
Yeah, retirement, hopefully.
That's what he should do.
If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I honestly sit out and wait for a quarterback to get hurt from a contender. If I'm him, I know it sounds morbid, I know it sounds bad, but if I'm him, I wait to see if someone like CJ Stroud's going to go down. Maybe Matthew Stafford, who has had some injury issues, goes down. Maybe you have Sam Darnold get hurt. So for me, if I'm Aaron Rodgers and I want a ring chase, if you're a veteran quarterback, this may seem like a outlandish strategy, but honestly, I think sitting out and waiting for a quarterback for a contender to get hurt would be his best bet at this point. Let's see what we have with Will Howard. Ran Mike McCarthy out of Green Bay. Mike McCarthy's an outdated head coach, so I really don't want to see him play there. He's going to go for his darkness retreat. So if I am the darkness speaking to Aaron Rodgers on his retreat, I say sit out, see if someone like CJ Stroud, Lamar, Drake May, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Stafford gets hurt, and then and then you're the veteran quarterback who comes in and can save that team. But if it's not any of them, Indy,